Hey everybody, holy moly, this is Chad McMahon with Protect with Insurance. This is the #1 top resource for $40,000 permanent whole life insurance policies. That's a mouthful, I know. This is going to be a great resource for anyone that's interested in getting a larger whole life insurance policy. When I say larger, I mean if you're past the age of about 45 or 50, that's a big whole life insurance policy. Typically, 40,000 is the maximum amount of coverage past that age. Typically, not always. Now, if you're younger and you're in perfect health, then you can be getting whole life insurance up into the millions. Of course, it's going to cost you, but this is the typical big amount of insurance if you're past the age of 50. Article. What I'm going to be sharing with you is everything from important whole life insurance information, an explanation of what is permanent life insurance compared to other forms, and then also I'm going to break down how do these policies function? How do they work? How are they different? Also, there are some inside tips I'm going to share with you about how you can squeeze the most value out of these policies so that your loved ones are well taken care of as inexpensively as possible. And then also, why do people get this kind of a policy? You want to make sure it's a good fit for you. Why don't they get this kind of a policy? And then finally, talking about ratings, I'm going to briefly cover that. Why are ratings for whole life insurance companies, why are they important? And then also, I'm going to illustrate some of the preferred actual companies that you should keep your eyes open, keep your eyes on. They're going to be the companies that offer the best prices, they have the best ratings, they really take care of you with this kind of a policy. And finally, what are these actual prices that I'm talking about? I'm going to share those with you as well. Now, spoiler alert, the prices, you're going to have to get those off the website. They're not going to be on this video. It's too much to put into a video. Now, first of all, sorry, there's so much I want to put into this resource. What is permanent whole life insurance? First of all, permanent is just a term. It's a term for any kind of a whole life insurance policy that's not going to change. So not all whole life insurance policies are permanent because some of them they're going to change in 20, 30, 40 years. But this kind of policy in this video and in this article is a permanent whole life insurance policy that I'm going to be talking about. It's going to be a policy that locks in place. The price is never going to change. The coverage, meaning the death payment is not going to change. They're going to build up cash value. They are full coverage policies. They cover medical as well as accidental deaths. And so these are permanent policies. Very, very important past the age of 50 that you have permanent life insurance. You really don't want to mess around with term. Now, sometimes you're going to be tempted to. If you are in exceptional health, you're going to say, well, Chad, why don't I get a $200,000 policy when it's going to cost me less than getting a $40,000 policy, meaning 200,000 term versus 40,000 whole life? And that's absolutely an accurate comparison in most cases. The reason why most people, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but the reason why most people want to go with whole life past the age of 50 is because those term policies, they are built by the insurance companies with the extreme likelihood you're going to outlive them. Very high percentage of people outlive those term policies. When the term ends, you don't get anything back and your term is over. And at that point, you have to get reinsured and it costs an arm and a leg. And now you can't afford to get a $40,000 policy or a $20,000 or $30,000. Now you get a $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 policy and pay the same amount that you could have locked down a $40,000 policy today. So that's a very important thing. And when you think about a $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 policy, for some people, it's the perfect amount and it works great for their needs. But for most people, it's not enough coverage. So those are some of the reasons why you'd want to focus on a $40,000 policy now. Now, here's a little pro tip. Most, not all, but assuming you qualify for it, most permanent whole life insurance providers will give you the option of adding what's called an accidental death benefit rider to your whole life insurance policy. This is a very inexpensive addition to your policy. Usually it boosts your costs by about 5%, very small increase, but it'll double the payout to your loved ones if death falls within the accidental death category, which is roughly a third of deaths. So, I mean, it's very worthwhile to pay a tiny bit more to have this rider on there. It's something that if you can, you should. Most of the time, that's the case. Now, if you have an extremely strict budget and you don't care about that at all, and you know that going into it, let your agent know, because otherwise, most of the time, they're gonna price it with that rider on there. It's a great way to build in value, very little cost, and that's your first pro tip. Now, why do most people get whole life insurance? A lot of times it's going to be for burial, cremation, funeral services, a financial gift. Some people get these policies. They're ideal for paying their mortgage for a while. So if you have a mortgage, you can get one of these policies. Dedicate enough money for your monthly mortgage payments for 6 months, for 12 months. They're great for that because they come right away. There's no taxation on it, so it's tax-free to your loved ones. It's very, very important that way. So those are some of the reasons, but there are a lot of other reasons too. And sometimes people want to cover miscellaneous bills, unforeseen bills, travel expenses for people that are going to come out for their service, and on and on and on. Essentially, it's just a check. It's a check that's going to come to your loved ones. They're not taxed, and it covers every kind of death. So whatever you think that money might be needed for, and you get to use it for whatever they want. It's completely flexible. Once they receive it, it's just a check. They just deposit it and use it what they want. And there's no penalty to use it one way or another. Now, if you've ever been told about ratings, life insurance company ratings, it's very, very important. When it comes to life insurance companies, you don't want to dance around with a B or a C rated life insurance company. And there are a lot of them out there. You want an A rated life insurance company, preferably one that's been around a long time. But most important is that rating. And that rating, the main thing it stands for is financial solvency. It's going to be a company that's not going anywhere. They're not going to go bankrupt. They're financially solid. They're well backed by investors. And because of that, the more financially solvency there's a relation between that and the price that they give you. If they are more stable, they can give you a better price. A great example is Mutual of Omaha. They have been around a super long time. They're one of the highest rated life insurance companies in the country, and they give some of the best prices with a lot of policies, not always. There are times when you can absolutely get a better price elsewhere. But they're definitely on the preferred companies list. Now, Mutual of Omaha, so I just mentioned that one. A few other ones are Gerber. Believe it or not, same company as Baby Food, but Gerber has phenomenal life insurance for seniors, for all adults, for children, and I separate those categories because they separate the type of policy based on age. So they have phenomenal life insurance policies. They have one of the best price guaranteed issue life insurance policies in the country. So if you are between the ages of 50 and 80, you can access a guaranteed issue policy, which is great for people that have severe medical issues, such as currently dependent upon a wheelchair, breathing oxygen during the day, active cancer. There's a whole long list of them. But in those cases, you need a guaranteed issue policy. Also, if, let's say, you are 5'8", but 350 pounds, then you may, not necessarily, but you may need to go with a guaranteed issue provider. Now, other ones are Foresters Financial. They are phenomenally well priced. They underwrite policies more generously than a lot of other companies, meaning if you have medical problems, that they may be able to give you a preferred health rating, which is above average health rating, which gets your price down. Royal Neighbors of America, a lot of people haven't heard of this company. It's a rising star. They give great pricing. If you have issues with diabetes combined with neuropathy and some other situations as well, various forms of anxiety and depression, bipolar and schizophrenia, there are some exceptions where they'll put you into a well-priced program. American Amicable is another company, really super company. They've been around a very long time. They give great pricing on policies, and they're really wonderful to work with. And Americo, phenomenal company. Americo, they've been in business over 100 years. They're A-rated. They're amazing. Now, what are the actual prices? Again, come to our website. I hate to not give that information to you on this video because I want to give everything you want on this video. But for the pricing, you're going to have to come to our website, and it'll be provided there. So I hope this has been helpful. Please reach out to us if you want to see anything else added to these resources. hello@protectwithinsurance.com is our email. Please just zap us a quick email. Say, hey, Chad, please include this in your next video, or please include this on the resource on the website, and I will prioritize that. I want you to have all the resources that you ask for, the resources that you need, so that we can support anyone and everyone out there. All right, good luck, stay safe out there.